Hi, I'm Larry Oda. I'm a third-generation resident of Monterey. My grandfather came in early 1900s to work in the fishing industry.
Hi, I'm Jerry Takigawa, and also Sansei, or third generation, although I was born in Chicago because of the war and the relocation. What we're about to see here in the Currents Gallery is an extension of Shadows from the Past. These images that you're looking at now are from my Balancing Cultures series. This is called Summer Job. And it's a photograph that actually my partner here, Larry, his grandfather owned the cannery, the Sea Pride. And this picture is my grandfather's fish market, Higashi Fish Market, and contains some memorabilia and the scrapbook called Memories. So this piece is called Memories.
So since the main industry that supported the Japanese when they first came was fishing, and this is a model of the fishing boat that Frank Manaka owned. It was amazing that he was 18 years old when he bought this boat. One of the activities that the immigrants did was baseball. The Japanese loved baseball, and this the particular mitt was owned by Kai Miyamoto, and this is his jersey. The name of the team was Minato Tigers, and they were very good and won many championships.
What did Minato mean?
Minato means harbor, maybe small harbor.
This photograph is also called Minato because it was a photograph of the team. My grandfather, my father, and my uncle are in the photo. And it has some text in there that is a statement that is on the monument at Manzanar. So we have a little picture here that was from Sandy Yagyu. I believe it was her great-grandfather. And it's in front of the old Monterey Pier, which there are still remnants of in the bay next to Fisherman's Wharf. This image, it's called Immigrant Story, and it's my mother's family portrait when she was a child. My grandmother was a picture bride, and when she arrived in Monterey, she rejected her suitor from her grandfather. They all remained friends.
So we have some maps of the various communities on the peninsula. This first one is of the Japanese farms at the mouth of the Carmel Valley, and most of them were lost during the evacuation, but the Miyamotos were able to hang on to theirs and still own property down in the mid-valley. The second map is the businesses on Fisherman's Wharf. And prior to World War II, Fisherman's Wharf was primarily Japanese. Now, when they were evacuated, all of them were lost, and none of them went back to conduct business on Fisherman's Wharf.
You mentioned something about, was it Miki Ichiuchi's Shoe Hospital? That was there for quite a long time.
A long time, yeah, that one. Plus the Uchida dry cleaners.
Oh yeah.
Were one of the first businesses in Pacific Grove, and they still exist on Grand Street, I think it is.
And this is Japantown in Monterey, also known as Nihonmachi. Pretty populated, included my grandfather's hotel and restaurant, and so many others that are no longer there.
Nope. I think
the only thing remaining
is the JACL Hall, which originally was the Japanese Association Hall, social hall that, a place for the community to meet, perform plays.
So we're looking at a letter from the General Fish Corporation letterhead written to Aiko Watanabe, and it's addressed to her in the Jerome, Arkansas concentration camp. And I believe that it is indicating that her husband's boat had sold for $100. You said that they were worth
$20,000.
Yeah, quite a bit more.
And then his diving gear and any nets and things like that are also additional costs. Probably up to $20,000 also.
This map is indicating the location of the concentration camps and the assembly centers during World War II. So
there were 10 main camps, War Relocation Authority camps, as they called them, where and each one of them held about 10,000 people. There's a number of other smaller camps that were for aliens and others. Down in the southern part of Texas, you see Crystal City. That's where I was born, but they also had Germans and Japanese Latin Americans that were held for prisoner exchange.
We're looking at a carving, a relief carving on wood, which is the wood from a produce crate, and another. This is an example of the crafts and art being done in the camps. The same goes for the pins that you're looking at. They're also hand carved, hand painted from scraps of wood. Pretty remarkable creativity in very limited resources. This piece is carved from, I believe, an ironwood tree trunk, and it was in my grandfather's possession for a really long time, and I never knew what it was until this exhibition. And it turns out that it's really a bit of a vase stand for plants. These are pins made from shells found in Chili Lake. It was a dry lake bed. Again, the same kind of craftsmanship and art being shown in real difficult circumstances. So brooches and pins made from shells.
Wonderful artistic.
And quite a bit of variety of results from very, very similar materials.
So the internees tried to maintain as normal existence as possible. And here we have a couple of yearbooks, high school yearbooks, for the students that were made by the students to have a keepsake of their high school years. So we have an example of the poster that was put up all over instructing the Japanese to report to induction centers with only what they could carry. And it included bedding and toilet articles, extra clothing, knives, forks, spoons that you would use to eat with. The Army instructions to evacuate the west coast of Japanese.
We were looking at a couple of pages from the petition that was found at the Japanese American Citizens League Hall recently. It's almost 80 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is an example of Monterey behaving as a sanctuary city, kind of in retaliation to another group based in Salinas. Yeah. The group in Salinas had published in the Monterey and the Salinas newspapers the statement that the Japanese were not welcome. The petition in Monterey, created here with over 450 signatures, was to contradict that and say that we do want you to come back, and this is a democracy. You see some prominent people on the list, such as Edward Weston Karras, John Steinbeck. Very, very nice representation of a welcoming committee. So Monterey did manage to bring quite a few people back.